Imagine a typical morning. You wake up, go to the kitchen, turn on the kettle or coffee maker, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and think that this day will be the same as yesterday. Same coffee, same habits, same fatigue, same pills, same tests. And most people, after 50, 60, live exactly like this. Day after day, year after year, they get used to fatigue, get used to excess weight, get used to high blood sugar, get used to high blood pressure, get used to joint pain, get used to the fact that their memory is no longer what it used to be, get used to the fact that they have less and less energy. And the most dangerous thing is, they start to think that this is normal, that it's just age, that everyone is like this. But over more than 40 years of medical practice, I've realized one very important thing. Aging isn't always about age. Very often, aging is about diet and habits. My name is Dr. Kim. I'm 71 years old. I was born in Korea, studied medicine in Seoul, and have been working with older people for over 40 years. Today I want to tell you about one simple thing that can greatly impact your energy, weight, brain function, blood vessels, and even how the body ages. And the most surprising thing is that many people add it to their coffee, but don't understand why they feel better. I want to tell you a story. A few years ago, a man came to see me. He was 63 years old. He looked tired. He was overweight, had high blood pressure, and high sugar. He tired quickly and slept poorly. He began his complaints with one phrase, "Doctor, it's like I switch off during the day. I'm fine in the morning, but after lunch I have no energy at all." I looked at his lab results. There was nothing catastrophic, but there was something I see very often: elevated insulin, belly fat, liver function not ideal, and his brain receives less energy. So I asked him one simple question: what do you eat in the morning? He said that in the morning he drinks coffee with sugar and cookies. Sometimes a sandwich, sometimes nothing. And then I told him one thing that I tell many of my patients. Sometimes the problem is not that you eat too much. Sometimes the problem is that the body does not know how to get energy from fat. 3 months passed, he came to me again, and at first I did not even recognize him. He lost weight. He had more energy. Sugar went down, blood pressure got better. He said one phrase that I have heard many times: "Doctor, I just changed my morning coffee." And here the most interesting thing begins. Our body can get energy from two sources, from sugar and from fat. When a person constantly eats sugar, bread, cookies, sweets, the body gets used to getting energy only from glucose. And when glucose drops, a person feels tired, weak, drowsy, irritable, and wants to eat sweets again. But there is another source of energy: fat. When the body begins to use fat as fuel, a very interesting thing happens. Energy becomes more stable, the brain, it works better, appetite decreases, weight starts to drop, inflammation decreases. And here's where one thing comes in that's being talked about a lot these days: MCT oil. MCTs are special fatty acids that are converted into energy very quickly. They don't get stored as fat as regular oils. They quickly reach the liver and are then converted into ketones. And ketones are fuel for the brain. When the brain receives ketones, many people begin to feel clearer thinking. Brain fog clears, energy increases, and concentration improves. But that's not the most interesting thing. In recent years, scientists have begun to talk about how nutrition can influence so-called stem cells. These are cells that participate in tissue repair. They help the body renew itself. They participate in the restoration of muscles, skin, and blood vessels. When a person constantly eats sugar and refined foods, inflammation in the body increases. When inflammation increases, cells age faster. When cells age faster, the entire body ages. And vice versa. When sugar levels are stable, when there is less inflammation, when the body uses fat as fuel, the body ages more slowly. I'm not saying there's one magic spoonful of oil that will cure everything. There are no miracle cures in medicine, but there are habits that change metabolism, and metabolism changes health. Many of my patients after 60 start doing one simple thing. In the morning, they drink coffee without sugar and add 1 teaspoon of MCT oil. After a week, they add 2 teaspoons, and they begin to notice changes. They crave sweets less, have energy for longer, and want to snack less. Gradually, the belly goes away, it becomes easier to think, memory improves. But I always say one important thing. The most important thing is not the oil. The most important thing is to remove the sugar. Because you can't add oil to your coffee and eat cookies, candy, and sweet buns at the same time and say it doesn't work. The body likes stability. The body likes simple food. The body likes when there are no constant sugar spikes, and that's when very interesting changes occur. Inflammation decreases, brain function improves, the risk of diabetes decreases, the risk of fatty liver disease decreases, the risk of cardiovascular disease decreases diseases, and most importantly, a person begins to feel younger. In my practice, I've noticed one simple thing. People don't age because they're old. They age because they lack energy. When a person has energy, they move, they walk, they communicate, they laugh, they're interested in life, they live. When a person lacks energy, they sit, lie down, watch TV, eat sweets, and the body ages even faster. That's why sometimes health doesn't start with pills, sometimes health starts with breakfast, sometimes health starts with what you add to your morning coffee. But remember one important thing. There's no single product that will save your health, but there are daily habits that either destroy your health or gradually restore it. Less sugar, more exercise, normal sleep, simple foods, and a proper breakfast. And then the body begins to function differently. And in the end, I want to say one simple thing that I tell all my patients. Not being old makes a person weak. Habits make a person weak. And habits can make a person strong again. Take care of yourself, take care of your health, watch what you eat in the morning, and remember that small habits make a big difference. Stay healthy, take care of yourself, and if you found this information helpful, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos about health and longevity.